Hello, beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to this reading. I need to tell you right from the start that this is a general reading created for entertainment purposes, so please take only what resonates with your personal situation and leave the rest. I'm interpreting the energy I see in these cards, and this isn't meant to replace any professional advice you might need in your life. What I'm picking up is incredibly powerful, though, and I'm genuinely excited to share what's coming through for you. The energy surrounding you right now is absolutely electric, and there's this sense that everything you've been quietly knowing deep in your gut is about to prove itself true in the most beautiful way. You know that feeling when you just know something, even when you can't explain it logically? That's what this reading is all about. Your intuition has been whispering to you, maybe even shouting at you, and what I'm seeing in these cards is that you're about to experience a massive validation of everything you've been sensing. The universe is preparing to show you that you were right all along, and the surprise that's coming is going to be so much more wonderful than you've even allowed yourself to imagine. I can feel this energy of transformation and renewal swirling around you, like you're stepping into a completely new version of yourself, and honestly, Capricorn, you're going to look better, feel better, and shine brighter than you ever have before. There's something about reclaiming your power, about stepping fully into your truth, and about finally allowing yourself to receive the blessings you've worked so hard for. Let me dive into what the cards are revealing about this incredible shift happening in your life. The first card that came out for you is the Queen of Swords, and I immediately felt this surge of clarity and sharp awareness when I pulled it. This card is showing me that you've been in this incredibly powerful mental and emotional space where you're seeing through absolutely everything. The Queen of Swords sits on her throne with her sword raised toward the sky, and there's this quality of someone who has been through enough to know the difference between truth and illusion. She's surrounded by clouds and butterflies, symbols of transformation and mental clarity, and what strikes me most is the way she holds that sword with such confidence and precision. This isn't someone who's guessing or hoping, this is someone who knows. What this card is revealing about your situation is that you've developed this incredible ability to cut through the nonsense and see situations for exactly what they are. You've been using your mind like a finely tuned instrument, and your intuition has been working overtime to show you what's real and what's just smoke and mirrors. The energy here is about intellectual sovereignty, about trusting your perceptions even when others might try to convince you otherwise. I'm sensing that you've been in situations recently where people have tried to gaslight you to make you question what you clearly see, but this Queen energy says you're not falling for it anymore. You've sharpened your discernment to the point where you can spot manipulation, dishonesty, and half-truths from a mile away. In practical terms, this is showing up as moments where you're calling things out, where you're refusing to pretend you don't see what you see, where you're speaking your truth, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Maybe you've confronted someone about their behavior, or maybe you've simply stopped participating in dynamics that require you to play small or play dumb. The emotional landscape here is one of liberation mixed with a touch of loneliness, because when you start seeing clearly, you sometimes realize how many people around you are still choosing to stay in the fog. But here's what the Queen of Swords wants you to understand. Your clarity is your superpower right now, and the surprise coming your way is directly connected to your refusal to compromise your perception of truth. You're being rewarded for trusting yourself, for honoring your intelligence, and for not letting anyone dim the sharp brilliance of your awareness. Next, I pulled the Queen of Cups, and this is where the reading gets really interesting because we're moving from the realm of pure intellect into the realm of deep emotional wisdom. When this card appeared right after the Queen of Swords, I felt this beautiful balance emerging, like you're integrating both your mental clarity and your emotional intelligence into something truly powerful. The Queen of Cups sits by the water's edge, holding an ornate cup that's covered and protected, symbolizing the precious nature of emotional truth and intuitive knowing. The water at her feet is calm but deep, and there are these beautiful shells and pebbles around her, showing that she's collected treasures from the depths of emotional experience. What I'm really picking up here is that your intuition isn't just operating on a mental level. It's coming through your emotions, your dreams, your gut feelings, and those sudden knowing sensations that wash over you without logical explanation. This card is telling me that you've been receiving emotional downloads and psychic impressions about your situation, and even when they didn't make rational sense, some part of you knew they were true. The Queen of Cups energy is deeply compassionate, but also incredibly self-protective, and I'm seeing that you've learned to trust your emotional responses to people and situations. When something feels off, even if you can't explain why, you honor that feeling. When something feels aligned, even if it seems impossible, you allow yourself to hope. In your daily life, this is manifesting as increased sensitivity to energy and vibes, where you can walk into a room and immediately sense what's really going on beneath the surface conversations. You might be having vivid dreams that seem to contain messages, or experiencing those moments where you think of someone right before they contact you. The emotional insight here is profound. You've been healing your relationship with your own sensitivity, learning that being emotionally attuned isn't a weakness, but a form of genius. You're no longer apologizing for feeling deeply or knowing things you shouldn't logically know. The guidance from this queen is to keep honoring your emotional and intuitive wisdom, because it's guiding you towards something absolutely beautiful. Your heart knows things your mind hasn't figured out yet, and that's perfectly okay. Trust the feelings, trust the hunches, trust that inner voice that's been speaking to you in whispers and waves. The King of Cups appeared next, and I have to tell you, when I saw this card, I felt this immediate sense of emotional mastery and maturity. This king sits on his throne in the middle of turbulent waters, but he remains completely calm and centered, holding his cup with steady hands while ships rock in the background and fish jump from the waves. What this card is revealing is that either you've developed this incredible emotional stability, or someone with this energy is about to enter your life in a significant way. I'm leaning toward this being about you, Capricorn, because the progression of these three cards shows a journey of integration and wholeness. You've moved from the mental clarity of the Queen of Swords through the emotional wisdom of the Queen of Cups, and now you're embodying this King of Cups energy that represents complete emotional sovereignty. This is someone who can feel everything deeply without being controlled by their emotions, who can hold space for others without losing themselves, who can navigate emotional complexity with grace and strength. What's really interesting about this card in your reading is that it suggests you're becoming someone who can handle whatever life throws at you with emotional intelligence and composure. In practical manifestation, this looks like you staying calm in situations that would have previously sent you spiraling, responding to provocations with measured wisdom instead of reactive emotion, and maintaining your peace even when others are losing theirs. You're becoming the person others come to for emotional counsel and support because you radiate this quality of having your emotional house in order. The psychological insight here is massive. You've done the work to heal old emotional wounds, to establish healthy boundaries, and to cultivate genuine self-love and self-respect. You're no longer at the mercy of your feelings or other people's emotional manipulation. The wonderful surprise I'm seeing is that this emotional maturity is about to attract circumstances and people that match this new level of wholeness you've achieved. When you're emotionally sovereign, you become magnetic to situations that honor that sovereignty. The King of Cups is telling you that your intuition was absolutely correct about needing to develop this level of emotional mastery, and now you're about to see why it was so important. Now we get the Knight of Wands, and when this card flew out, I felt this sudden burst of passionate, dynamic energy rushing into the reading. This knight charges forward on his rearing horse, holding his wand like a torch, and there's fire and salamanders all around him, symbolizing pure, creative, and passionate force. After the calm, centered energy of the King of Cups, this knight brings movement, action, and exciting developments. What I'm picking up is that something is about to happen quickly. Something that's been building beneath the surface is about to burst into your reality with enthusiasm and momentum. This could be an opportunity, a person, a project, or a realization that comes in hot and transforms your day-to-day experience. The Knight of Wands doesn't move slowly or cautiously. He moves with confidence and fire, and that's the energy that's approaching you now. Your intuition has probably been sensing that something exciting is on the horizon. Maybe you've felt restless or anticipatory without knowing exactly why. This card confirms that your gut feeling about incoming change and adventure is absolutely accurate. In real-life terms, this might show up as a sudden opportunity for travel, a passionate new connection, an exciting project or venture that ignites your creativity, or a burst of inspiration that propels you into action. The Knight of Wands energy is fearless and optimistic, believing that fortune favors the bold. I'm seeing that you're being called to match this energy, to be ready to say yes to opportunities even if they feel a bit risky or outside your usual comfort zone. The emotional and psychological piece here is about rekindling your passion and excitement for life. Maybe you've been playing it safe or holding back, and this night is bringing you permission to be bold, to take chances, to pursue what genuinely excites you, even if it doesn't make perfect logical sense. What the cards want you to know is that this energy isn't random or chaotic. It's divinely timed. You've done the emotional work with the King of Cups. You've sharpened your discernment with the Queen of Swords. You've deepened your intuition with the Queen of Cups. And now you're ready to take bold action. The surprise coming your way involves movement, passion, and exciting new directions that honor the truth you've been discovering about yourself. The High Priestess came through next, and this is such a powerful card to appear in your reading because it's the ultimate confirmation of everything we've been talking about regarding your intuition. When I pulled this card, I felt this deep, mysterious energy, like there are secrets being revealed and hidden knowledge coming to light. The High Priestess sits between two pillars, one black and one white, with a veil of pomegranates behind her, and she holds a scroll marked with the word Torah, representing sacred knowledge and divine wisdom. The moon is at her feet, showing her connection to cycles, intuition, and the subconscious realm. What this card is absolutely screaming at me is that your intuition hasn't just been giving you random hunches, it's been downloading actual truth and wisdom from a higher source. You've been tapping into something real, something beyond the physical world, and the knowing you've been experiencing is legitimate spiritual guidance. The High Priestess energy is about trusting what you know without needing external validation, understanding that some knowledge comes through channels that can't be explained by logic or reason. I'm getting this strong sense that you've been receiving messages through dreams, synchronicities, sudden knowing sensations, and those moments where information just appears in your consciousness without you actively thinking about it. This card validates all of that. You're not imagining it, you're not making it up, you're genuinely connected to intuitive wisdom right now. In practical application, this means paying attention to those quiet, inner promptings, the symbols and signs that keep appearing in your life, the patterns you're noticing that others seem to miss. The High Priestess is asking you to go deeper, to trust the mystery, to honor the part of you that knows things beyond rational explanation. Emotionally and psychologically, this card speaks to embracing the mystical and intuitive parts of yourself that maybe you've been taught to dismiss or ignore. There's power in the unseen, in the felt, in the sensed, and you're being initiated into a deeper level of spiritual awareness. The guidance here is profound. Continue to trust your inner knowing. Create space for quiet reflection and meditation. Pay attention to your dreams and the messages they contain, and understand that you have access to wisdom that goes beyond your everyday conscious mind. The beautiful surprise the cards have been pointing to is connected to this intuitive knowing, as if your higher self has been preparing you for something wonderful, and now it's almost time for the reveal. The Two of Cups appeared, and I felt my heart expand when I saw this card because it's one of the most beautiful cards in the entire deck for connection, partnership, and mutual recognition. Two figures stand facing each other, each holding a cup, and above them is the caduceus of Hermes with a lion's head, symbolizing balanced power, healing, and divine union. What strikes me about this card in your reading is that it represents a meeting of equals, a connection where both people see and honor each other fully. After all the work you've been doing on yourself, all the clarity you've gained, all the emotional mastery you've developed, you're being positioned to experience a relationship or partnership that actually matches your evolved energy. This could be romantic, but it could also be a profound friendship, a business partnership, or a creative collaboration that feels destined and deeply aligned. The energy I'm picking up is that someone is coming into your life, or someone already in your life is going to reveal themselves in a new way, and this connection is going to feel different from anything you've experienced before because it's based on genuine mutual respect, understanding, and recognition. Your intuition has probably been telling you that you're ready for a different kind of connection, one where you don't have to diminish yourself or over-explain yourself, where you can show up authentically and be met with appreciation rather than judgment. This Two of Cups confirms that intuitive knowing. In daily life, this might manifest as meaningful conversations that leave you feeling energized rather than drained, encounters with people who genuinely get you, or the deepening of an existing relationship into something more significant and beautiful. The emotional landscape here is one of hope mixed with readiness, like you're finally in a place where you can receive healthy love and connection because you've learned what you deserve and what you won't tolerate. The psychological insight is that you've healed enough to attract and recognize healthy partnership, which is a huge accomplishment. The Two of Cups wants you to know that opening your heart is safe now, that the work you've done has prepared you for connections that will add to your life rather than deplete you, and that you don't have to settle for less than genuine mutual care and respect. This card is part of the wonderful surprise, suggesting that love, partnership, or meaningful connection is blooming in your life in ways that honor the truth of who you've become. The Chariot charged into the reading next, and I immediately felt this powerful forward momentum and victorious energy. The charioteer stands in a chariot pulled by two sphinxes, one black and one white, representing opposing forces brought under control through will and determination. He wears armor decorated with symbols of the moon, showing emotional mastery, and holds a wand representing his authority and direction. What this card is telling me is that you're about to experience a period of rapid progress and achievement, where everything you've been working towards starts coming together in tangible, visible ways. The Chariot is about taking the reins of your life and steering yourself toward your desired destination with focus, discipline, and unwavering commitment. After all the inner work shown in the previous cards, you're now ready to take that internal transformation and direct it into external manifestation. Your intuition has been guiding you toward this moment where you step fully into your power and start making things happen on your terms. I'm seeing that you've been preparing for this, even if you didn't realize it, gathering your strength, clarifying your vision, and building the inner resources you need to succeed. In practical terms, this card suggests movement in career, relocation, achievement of goals you've been working toward, or a sudden acceleration in your progress that makes you feel like you're finally getting somewhere after a period of feeling stuck. The Chariot energy is confident, assertive, and unstoppable. You're being shown that you have what it takes to overcome obstacles, to navigate complex situations, and to emerge victorious. The emotional and psychological element here is about harnessing your willpower and directing it purposefully rather than letting life just happen to you. You're in the driver's seat, and that's exactly where you need to be. What the cards want you to understand is that this victorious momentum isn't just random good luck, it's the direct result of all the work you've done to develop clarity, emotional mastery, and intuitive wisdom. You've earned this forward movement, and the surprise is that it's going to be more powerful and swift than you anticipated. The Chariot is promising you visible, tangible results that will validate everything you've been sensing about your trajectory. You're about to look really good, Capricorn, because success and achievement are heading your way fast. The Six of Pentacles showed up next, and when I pulled this card, I felt this beautiful energy of receiving, of abundance flowing toward you, of being blessed and supported. The figure in this card stands with scales in one hand and coins in the other, distributing wealth to those kneeling before him. But what's interesting in your reading is that I'm seeing you on the receiving end of this generosity, not because you're lacking or needy, but because you've positioned yourself to receive what you deserve. The Six of Pentacles is about the circulation of resources, about giving and receiving in balance. And the timing of this card in your reading suggests that after a period of giving, working hard, and investing in yourself and others, you're about to experience a return on that investment. This could come as financial blessings, opportunities that provide material security, support from unexpected sources, or recognition that leads to tangible rewards. Your intuition has probably been hinting that your efforts haven't gone unnoticed, that the universe is keeping track of all you've contributed, and this card confirms that payback time is coming. In real-world manifestation, this might look like a job offer with better pay, an unexpected financial windfall, someone offering to help or support you in meaningful ways, or resources becoming available exactly when you need them. The Six of Pentacles has this quality of divine timing, where help arrives precisely when it's most needed and most appreciated. The emotional insight here is about learning to receive with grace, which can sometimes be harder than giving, especially for someone like you, Capricorn, who's so used to being self-sufficient and handling everything alone. This card is teaching you that receiving doesn't make you weak or dependent. It makes you part of the natural flow of universal abundance. You've given so much, and now it's time to let goodness flow back to you. The guidance is clear. Stay open to receiving. Don't block blessings out of pride or stubbornness. And understand that accepting help and support is actually honoring the person offering it. The beautiful surprise includes this element of unexpected support and resources coming your way, and it's going to feel like the universe is finally giving you a break and showing you that you're valued and worthy of abundance. The Five of Cups appeared, and I know this might seem like a strange card to appear in a reading about wonderful surprises, but stay with me because there's an important message here. The figure in this card stands with their back to us, focused on 3 spilled cups, while 2 full cups remain standing behind them. There's a bridge in the background leading to a castle, suggesting a path forward that's being overlooked in the moment of grief or disappointment. What I'm picking up with this card in your reading is that it's acknowledging a loss or disappointment you've experienced recently, something that genuinely hurt and required you to grieve. But here's the crucial part. This card is showing up to tell you that the surprise coming your way is partially about discovering that what you thought was a devastating loss was actually clearing space for something so much better. Your intuition has probably been whispering to you that maybe this ending was necessary, maybe this disappointment was a blessing in disguise, and this card is confirming that perspective. In practical terms, this could relate to a relationship that ended and left you heartbroken, a job or opportunity you lost and felt devastated about, or a dream that died and made you question everything. The Five of Cups validates that the pain was real and the loss mattered, but it also gently points out those 2 cups still standing and that bridge leading somewhere new. You're being shown that while you were mourning what ended, life was already preparing something new for you. The emotional landscape here is about processing grief while simultaneously opening to hope, which is a delicate balance. The psychological insight is powerful. Sometimes we need to release our grip on what's gone so we can turn around and see what's available. The guidance from this card is to honor your feelings about what you lost, but don't get stuck in that mourning position forever. Turn around, see those full cups, walk across that bridge. The wonderful surprise includes the revelation that what you lost was making room for something that actually aligns with who you've become, not who you used to be. You're going to look back and feel grateful that certain things ended because they freed you for what's coming. Finally, we have the Three of Cups, and this card brings such joyful, celebratory energy that I can't help but smile. Three women raise their cups in a toast, surrounded by fruit and harvest abundance, their postures expressing pure joy, friendship, and celebration. This card appearing at the end of your reading feels like the universe saying, "And here's your happy ending. Here's the celebration you've been heading toward." The Three of Cups is about community, friendship, joyful occasions, and reasons to celebrate. After everything you've been through, all the clarity you've gained, all the work you've done, all the losses you've processed, you're moving into a phase of genuine happiness and celebration. Your intuition told you that joy was coming, that there was light at the end of the tunnel, and this card confirms it absolutely. I'm seeing gatherings with people you love, moments of laughter and connection that fill your heart, achievements worth celebrating, and this overall sense of life being good and beautiful again. In practical manifestation, this could be parties, weddings, reunions, girls' trips, creative collaborations that bring joy, or simply regular moments with friends and loved ones that remind you what life is really about. The Three of Cups energy is about feeling supported, connected, and happy in community with others. You're not meant to walk this path alone, and this card shows you surrounded by people who genuinely love and celebrate you. The emotional insight is about allowing yourself to experience uncomplicated joy, to laugh without guilt, to celebrate without waiting for the other shoe to drop. You've earned this happiness, and it's safe to embrace it fully. What the cards want you to know is that this celebration isn't just about external events. It's about an internal state of joy and appreciation for your life that you've cultivated through all your growth and healing. The beautiful surprise culminates in this feeling of being genuinely happy, connected, and celebrated, of looking in the mirror and loving what you see, of looking at your life and feeling proud and grateful. You're going to look better than ever because you're going to feel better than ever, and that inner radiance is going to shine through everything you do. So Capricorn, let me bring this all together for you. Your intuition has been absolutely correct about everything. You sensed you were developing clarity, and you were. Shown by the Queen of Swords. You felt your emotional wisdom deepening, and it was. Confirmed by the Queen of Cups. You knew you were becoming emotionally sovereign, and you have, validated by the King of Cups. You anticipated exciting movement, and it's coming, promised by the Knight of Wands. You trusted your spiritual downloads, and they were real, affirmed by the High Priestess. You hoped for meaningful connection, and it's arriving, guaranteed by the Two of Cups. You believed you were heading toward victory and success, and you are, assured by the Chariot. You sensed that support and abundance were on their way, and they're coming, shown by the Six of Pentacles. You understood that your losses were making space for better, and they were, revealed by the Five of Cups. And you knew that joy and celebration awaited you, and they do, promised by the Three of Cups. Everything you've been quietly knowing, every whisper of intuition, every gut feeling that told you to trust the process and keep going has been leading you to this moment of transformation and beautiful surprise. You're stepping into a version of yourself that's clearer, wiser, more emotionally intelligent, more connected, more successful, and genuinely happier. And yes, you're going to look absolutely amazing because when you're aligned with your truth, when you're living from your authentic power, when you're connected to your intuition and moving in the direction of your highest good, you radiate in a way that's undeniable. Trust what you know, Capricorn. Your intuition has been your greatest guide, and it's about to be proven right in the most wonderful ways.